Welcome back to my channel. It is late in the evening on a Sunday. Wasn't planning on doing a video, but just got through watching somebody else do a video that just got his truck back. Do it with Dan. Congratulations. But yeah, I've actually had a little success on my truck. A little bit small setback, and I will show you why. I've actually found out what my biggest issue was on the truck. I still got some other issues I got to figure out, but I have found out, and it's a mess. I've got the charger in here, stuff like that. I had to charge the battery up, jump it off some more. Found out where I was thinking I was having problems with this starter. Move this jumper out of the way, and I gotta put things back together. As you see, it's going to be a little bit of a mess, but right down here is the ground. I ground it where they had the ground wire that was still on the side of it, and I just swapped it out for the one that was on the passenger side and put it over on the driver's side. And every time I try to turn the starter over, it would click. And I kept thinking there was a wire loose on the starter or something. What problem was the starter? Because I kept hearing the click and it sounded like it was popping from the starter. Then I got thinking, you know, it's like if you have a loose connection on a battery and you try to turn it over a vehicle. It kept doing that, then it dawned on me. I need to see if that's what the case is, because every time I hear that spark, I would lose complete power inside. But if I reset the battery cable, it would come back on. So I decided I'd do it, and what I done is I took my power probe, which is the reason why this is loose. And I don't know, it's going to be kind of hard to show, but you can see where I've kind of probed this purple wire. That's the one that goes to the starter. I was able to click it and seen the spark came from the ground, so I was like, reached down there, and yeah, that thing was real loose. So I put a couple of washers on it, tightened it up, now it's good to go. And I was able to hook up the HB tuners and kind of bypass the transmission. Unfortunately, the instrument cluster still says it's in second gear. Now when I turn the switch off, it goes to drive, which is weird. But I can turn the switch on now, and I can hear the cylinder relays cut on, and I can hear my fuel pump purge. So that is great. So I done that, got everything tightened, and was able to run it. Now I'm not going to try cranking it on this right now, because when I was running it, and you can see right down there on the ground, transmission fluid. What had happened since I've have this radiator still sitting, and it's got a hose where it two connected, and somebody else done that. I left it on there because I plan on redoing all the hoses. Well, it's kinked and split, so if I run it, transmission fluid comes out. Now I need to get it where I can hook it up to either the cooling line that goes to the 1500, or go ahead and get me a transmission cooler, because this transmission, this radiator is coming out. Transmission is going to come out sooner or later anyway. I do need to get a new steam hose, because don't think this one's going to be long enough, because the original one messed up on me. I think it got ripped up on the belt, and this hose is what was left over from the fuel lines that was happened to be long enough, and I got it where I could clamp it onto the hose on that, but I need to hook it up to the original steam vent. And I got the radiator hose that I need. It goes to the reservoir up to the heater coil, but the heater coil is not mounted yet because I've been working on this. I haven't even bothered working on doing the stuff off the 1500. I even got this so I could chest the starter, and every time I hook it up and I get connection, do like that, it would cut. It's like a breaker cut off, and that's what it was, is just losing ground. So I got this, but now I don't need it long. I wish it was longer than 3 foot because I can hook it up, but I'd have to be underneath, nearly underneath the truck. I could probably run it up through here, but that'd be a little irritating. But since I figured out my problem is, I can actually run a wire to this, since the switch does turn the relays on. I got a way I can crank it. The only issue I have now is my headlights still don't come on, and this is just mock-up, although rain and stuff, it's got ruined. So this is coming off, and I'm actually going to put a grill off of the Silverado on it. Oh, excuse me. I just hadn't had time to get one, which really I need the truck to be able to carry stuff. With a grill, I could probably get in the car if I found the right one, and then I would need plan on taking the fenders, putting a Silverado or Yukon fender and hood on here. I will need to replace this latch right here. This is definitely bent, so that will need to be replaced, because this one, of course, part I got off Facebook Market, and apparently it has had a little bit of wreck, but it has everything hooked up where I could replace everything. I just now got to figure out how to get the lights working and finish doing the back end. Now on the back, of course, I had, and I still got the wiring on there, but it did get unplugged. And when I started doing this, after I got it on here, it had rained before I got a chance to even put another coat of fiberglass on it. And this one's kind of alright, but both sides is getting ruined. And I had to drop the tailgate down to check something out on the transmission, because right here is the transmission and transfer case that I got for the truck. And yeah, I had to undo everything to get into it. So the tail lights is just in there. So I'm going to redo that eventually. What I'm gonna have to do is take all this out and go ahead and drill holes where this goes ahead and mounts to the tailgate, and then I can go ahead and start modifying, find everything I need. Then right here is the booster. Oh Lord, I need to turn that upside down. I thought I had it. Sorry, looking straight up. I had it where it was in the toolbox, but it is a little bit bigger. Eventually, I'm going to have that on the truck as well. All I'm going to do is take the fender up the 1500 firewall part and weld it into the firewall section there where everything will be lined up, and all the 1500 stuff will bolt right up into this truck. I just didn't get a chance to work on that over the weekend, and here it is, Sunday late. It's also getting cloudy, so it looks like it's going to rain tonight. Earlier when I was working on the truck, it did thunder a little bit, but it did stop and it didn't rain. Just as I was figuring out my ground issue, and I was like, well, I'm not going to stop. I didn't bother bringing out the camera because of it raining. Anyway, I did get to run the truck. That was great. The only thing I'm having the biggest issue with is trying to figure out how to get my fuel tank that I had purchased to work on that. Now I do have the tank that come off of this 1500, but it will not go underneath that truck. But I am planning on using it. I'm going to move my toolbox and I'm going to mount that one in the bed. So I need to get more fuel lines, and I can hook up the fuel gauge that's on the wiring harness for that. But I still need to figure out how much fuel is in the truck itself, and then how to bypass both tanks. Anyway, that's a little update, babbling. Sorry if the video ain't good. This is on my phone and I'm holding it with my hand instead of prop or anything like that, so hopefully it'll be good enough. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.